women are earning 72.4 cents for every dollar of men that men are earning. 1 in 7 Canadian women, that's 2.4 million, are living in poverty. 51.6% of single-parent families headed by women are poor. Almost half, 41.5% of single, widowed, or divorced women over 65 are poor. The poverty rate for all senior women is 19.3%, while that for senior men is 9.5%. More women than men live with disabilities, and Aboriginal people have twice the disability rate. And so, of course, for women with disabilities, women of color, all of these statistics are compounded. 37% of women of color are low income compared to 19% of all women. And the same holds true for violence. In Canada, Indigenous women between the ages of 25 and 44 are 5 times, horrifically 5 times more likely to die as a result of violence compared to other women. And so despite the fact that, as Elaine said, we've made this gain, we got to the point of around 70% earnings on compared to men, that is for women on average, and not the same benefits shared by all women, of course, but we haven't been able to move anywhere. And part of, since then, and part of that is the sort of general, the general factors that have contributed to the growing gap across society in Canada over the last 30 years. In fact, raise your hand if you were born after 1971. Put your hands back up. Okay. So for anybody born after 1971, in all the years of your life, we've been seeing increasing inequality in terms of income in Canada. It's shocking, actually. So anyone under about 40, anyone under my age. And yet for the generations before, we saw increasing equality. And part of that was the creation of large social transfers, things like the last one, of course, the last province signed on to Medicare in 1971, but in the 1960s, the creation of public Medicare, before that, the creation of pensions, and before that, the creation of public education. The fact that we haven't seen a major social program, and childcare would be a crucial one in Canada in about a generation now, is significant because it contributes to this stagnancy in terms of equality for people who are poor. And while our country is richer than it has ever been, obviously transferring some of that income through new social programs would be one way to ensure that everybody keeps up as we become more wealthy. I just wanted to talk a little bit about women who are fighting for change and how all of these things are connected. I think I've tried to make the case that those people who are fighting for particular issues, for childcare, for instance, those who are fighting for public education, those who are fighting for healthcare, are connected to those who are fighting against poverty, and those who are fighting for women's rights and the rights for marginalized people. And I think that it's crucial to also see that we have made some incredible victories. Particularly, I can think in recent years of the work of the healthcare fight across Canada, where we have completely stopped privatization of clinical services in Ontario's healthcare system. The largest market in the country, 2-tier private clinics have moved in absolutely in British Columbia and Quebec, and yet have not been allowed to move in here because of the strength of the social movement defending public health care in this province. But also incredible fights that have happened. For example, the fight of the Council of Canadians and Maud Barlow around water rights. Rights that are crucial, particularly affecting women and women's quality of life around the world, but obviously affecting everyone's lives. And all of the women who fight in the anti-poverty movement across the country, including the growing GAP group and others who have done so much to bring attention to those issues, but need a lot more support in order to make, I think, Canadians realize that we really do have a problem on our hands, and that the benefits of our society, of the wealth that is produced by our society, are not being shared equally by everyone, and that there are people who are truly falling behind. So I hope, if anything, that this inspires you to do some more, and I know you do lots in your community already to raise these issues. And thanks so much for having me here today.